Welcome everybody out to the introduction video for Gate 5.1. Gate 5 was a big one, so we had to split it into 5.1 and 5.2. But basically, we've already transferred the project, connected with the team, done the macro sketching, and created the overall project schedule or your master schedule with you with a Fresh Eyes meeting. Now it's time for us to get going and make sure that we are executing the plan. We need to execute the plan at this point and make sure that we're implementing the systems and actually driving productivity and respect at the field level. So that will include a work density analysis to make sure that we're jamming, hosting our first pull plan, which is hard and exciting, develop the norm phase by phase, and make sure that we're implementing the Takt steering and control board. So let me take you through those one by one. The first thing that we get to do as we're working phase by phase, so let's pretend we're only looking at one phase right now. And let's say that this is the interiors. A work density analysis is how we create zone boundaries. We never intentionally create zone boundaries by equal square foot or square meters. That's not how we do it, because a crew can come in and it takes a different amount of time, different amount of time, different amount of time. But if we, which we do, score the density of work inside this building, that means architectural, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, you've got low voltage, you've got, if it's a laboratory, you've got your lab equipment, whatever is involved in the density of work, we consider that and come up with a 1 through 10 scoring, and we're able to make sure that the zone sizes are sized appropriately for the density of work. That means a crew can come in here and experience the same amount of work, same amount of work, same amount of work, same amount of work, even though the zone shapes are different. You'll see 169, 357, 353. The reason you don't see an equal amount of square meters on that example is because the work density is the more important factor. So we will run these analyses with you, our clients, and with the public, so that we can enter into our first pull plan. Now, pull planning is super, super hard. It's gut-wrenchingly hard. We have a book called Pull Planning for Builders, which will guide you through it. And on our toolbox on the elevateconstructionist.com website, we have all of the deliverables that you might need to use, like homework or invitation emails. Everything's ready to go. But our team will literally create a background board for the pull plan so that we can do the first sequence, but then also analyze that sequence in the diagonal. Now, please trust us with this. We do pull planning different, and I would actually say, well, differently, sorry, and I would say that we do it the right way. Most of the time, folks and consultants will say, do a pull plan for a big, large batched area. You will lose weeks and months that way. So we do our pull planning digital every time. If we have to do it with physical stickies, then we could possibly work with that. But we do it digitally so that you can see the handwriting and that each sticky is done day by day, meaning if you have a 2-day duration, you'll see 2 stickies. And then in the computer, we can quickly cascade that down zone by zone on the takt time to make sure we have diagonal flow. So our folks are literal pull planning experts. Please trust us through this. Please give us a little bit of faith. Please trust the folks to actually do the pull plan. But the idea here is to take the zoning strategy from the previous page and then discuss that with the trade partners, do a pull plan for one zone only, and then to make sure that we have good flow for all the trades throughout the phase and that we have gained time and gained buffers for you. So the important point is identifying roadblocks and constraints during the pull plan. By the way, all known constraints should be adjusted and optimized by the end of the pull plan for the phase. And to resolve them, and to train the team to recognize and address them on site, and to end up with a really nice sequence that cascades through your takt time from zone to zone and to have gained buffers. If we didn't gain buffers for you in your phase, then that is a problem. So we have, I would say, pull planning 1.0, 2.0, 3.0. 1.0 is just to do the pull plan. 2.0 is to do it and then optimize any bottlenecks. Pull planning 3.0 is where each of these activities are identified 4 weeks before the pull plan even starts, and we analyze it ahead of the pull plan so there's no surprises. I would encourage us to always use pull planning 3.0. But that's pull planning. Pull planning then enables us to create the norm level takt plan. Now this is an LeanTakt, and just so you know, I highly recommend using LeanTakt. If you're like, hey, there's other softwares that I want to use, I love it. LeanTakt is the cheapest. It is developing the fastest. We are tied in with them. It works with true takt and last planner principles, and they will take care of you. And it is a very, very nice platform doing the basic things that we need done. And it is advancing faster than any other application. So we use LeanTakt, and once we do a pull plan, we will enter it in, and that's what creates the norm level takt plans. Now these don't look like the macro level takt plans. These will have the nuances of different activity durations, different takt times, multi-train takt planning versus single train takt planning, and this is the production plan that becomes the base for your look-aheads and your weekly work plans. This is mainly managed by the superintendent and us. So it's not as beautiful because it's so long, but it has the base data and all of the logic and the milestones that you need, and it is the base for every other production tool in the system. So the key here is, please don't ask our folks to create the norm level takt plan all at once from beginning to end. If we're doing massive projects with you, we simply need to pull plan 3 months ahead, remember, and then populate. 3 months ahead and populate. 3 months ahead and populate. Now, if we get ahead, that's fine, but technically, you should only have to create the norm level takt plan phase by phase 3 months before that phase starts. Now, you'll want to make sure, and we'll work with you on this, that your supply chains are targeting these individual dates, and that the look ahead and weekly work plans and day plans are filtered directly from this. This is your base plan. Thankfully, in LeanTakt, we can export the macro and the norm, or the combination of both, to CPM at any time if you need an as-built schedule. But this is the key thing that we want to do at this phase. Now, let's get to the hardest part. I've talked to you about the takt steering and control boards, but this is one of the hardest things for us to get across. I don't know why. I think it's because folks are used to seeing a pull plan or a weekly work plan on the wall. We don't want to see that. The best way to support your team is to have on the left side of the conference room these team boards which allow you to balance the project delivery team. Then just to the right, but still on the left wall, see these identify and flow boards where you can see visual maps of the actual work in zone maps and logistics maps. And the idea is for trades to be able to visualize the work and identify roadblocks in red and constraints, meaning the most limiting factors on the job sites, in orange. And then we have these problem-solving boards that are orange, not yellow, sorry, that are orange, where you can solve problems with the trades and your project delivery team can solve problems with the Kanban method, so that in the field, your crews can have these crew boards with them at the point of work in their zone for their crew. No schedule is worth the paper it's printed on unless it makes its way all the way to the workers as a visual representation of a collaborative effort among the trade partners. So these boards are specifically designed to organize the team, identify, discuss, and solve problems, actually document what you've solved and put somebody on point, and make sure that the information gets all the way to the crew. So the important point is we must make sure that these boards are explained to the project team, that we have a relationship between these boards and your meeting system, and that they're formatted for your job site and up and on the wall. Nothing past this point can happen properly unless these takt steering and control boards are properly put up on your conference room. And so that concludes gate number 5.1, which then leads us to 5.2. I hope you've enjoyed this video. On we go.